Hey guys, welcome back to the channel on a Wednesday. Yeah, Christmas is coming up, so I'm pumping these reviews out. Today I have the Oris Relief 300 meter automatic, and I'm not gonna read out this model number because it's like 30 characters long. Anyway, this is a really cool watch. I've always liked Oris watches. And I think this one's really cool for one reason. Obviously, it's the relief on the bezel. Kind of reminds me of a Yachtmaster a little tiny bit. Anyway, really cool watch. Again, I've also teamed up with Saltzman's watches out of Rhode Island. They're loaning me a lot of really nice watches, so I definitely appreciate them doing that. Anyway, all right, enough yippee-yapping away. Let's check this thing out. All right, guys, we'll get into this, but first check out my Amazon shopping channel if you like any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. I do get a very small commission if you buy from my Amazon store, so whenever you do that, I definitely appreciate it. And of course, Christmas is coming up, so if you see anything on the channel you like, go ahead and pull the trigger and get it. And again, I'll get a very small commission. And if you do that, again, I'm very appreciative. So anyway, this is Oris packaging. It's pretty simple. You got an outer sleeve right here. And again, another company that does really good packaging. This is nice, man. Here we go. Over here, you've got some sort of warranty card. This little thing right here is actually, this is a microfiber cleaning cloth that's wrapped up, which is pretty cool. You also have a little card holder for your warranty card and some other stuff in there. So anyway, here is the watch. Now I will say, getting it off this little, not really pillow, but this thing's kind of a pain because it's kind of stuck in there until you actually take the strap, until you open it up and undo the strap. That's one thing about this watch that's a little fiddly. I mean, it's very secure and it's a very high quality rubber strap. I will say that. But just the way you fasten it to your wrist is a little bit different. So you pull that one out and then you pull this one out. And then you just pull it out. As you can see, it's got these little, they're like little holes to allow it to kind of squeeze through the buckle right there. Anyway, that's the one thing about this watch I will say up front that I'm not, super crazy about. But once it's on your wrist, it feels fantastic. And this thing fits like a glove. So you just got to find the correct hole in the strap. Let me get this thing out. See, I told you, man, it's kind of, and that's only because I'm just getting it out of this display right there. But if you look, and you can also cut this to fit. You see those little lines right there? That's how you can cut it to fit. It fits me perfectly. I think on the third, let me see here. Yeah, on the third hole, it fits me perfectly. Really, again, high quality rubber strap. You got Oris branded that. Now, if I remember correctly, and some of y'all let me know, they used to scent these straps like a vanilla scent. I swear I saw this like 5 years ago in some Oris dealership somewhere. And they said, go ahead, lift up the strap and smell it. I'm like, what? And I smelled it, and they actually put scent in these straps. This one was like a vanilla. It was really cool. Anyway, so there's your first look at the watch. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Let's talk more about this. Really nice watch. And again, thank you, Saltzman's, Richard, and the guys over there for sending me these watches. I really do appreciate that. So as usual, we'll go over all the 7 specs you need to know, and then we'll talk more about the watch down there in the description field. So you are looking at let me actually wipe this thing off real quick. All right, there we go. So you're looking at a 43.5 millimeter stainless steel case. It's 13.5 millimeters thick. It's 51 millimeters lug to lug. Comes on a 23 millimeter rubber strap, and these are integrated straps, by the way. Water resistance is 300 meters, which is 990 feet. It has the Oris 733-1, which is actually a Sellita SW200-1, and they modify it. This has 41 hours of power reserve. It has a sapphire crystal on both sides with AR coating. So not only obviously on the top, you have an exhibition case back, and that is sapphire as well. You can see the signature red Oris rotor right there. And because this is a review unit, I'm not going to take this sticker off. So you can see the red rotor over there. And again, this has a sapphire crystal as well. Anyway, if you want to check out all the other specs, like it weighs 120 grams, obviously it's made in Switzerland. It's got 120 click Uni-Directional bezel. Very little play, just a smidge on this bezel. It's windable, it's hackable, all that other stuff. Check down there in the description field if you want to nerd out and check out all those specs. I think it's a fantastic looking watch. I like that kind of gray, kind of dark gray sunburst dial. The hands to me could, and this is just me personally, just aesthetically, the hands could be a little wider. I think that would actually look really cool. You got your nice date down there at 6 o'clock, obviously Swiss made. You got Oris underneath the 12 o'clock index. And what does it say? Aquis, is that what it says? Aquis pressure resistant. Anyway, I'm not quite sure why it says pressure resistant. Anyway, that's what it is. Over here, you got the crown, nice signed crown. You got these really pronounced crown guards. And these crown guards, guys, when you're screwing it in, it does make it a little bit hard to make sure you screwed it back in all the way. Not a big deal, but those are really pronounced crown guards. The bezel has a ton of grip. Really nice bezel. And obviously it lines up perfectly. Let's go ahead and line it up there. There we go. Really, really nice. Not really polished. It's mostly brushed. You do have these straps are screwed in, which is really nice. Pretty cool. A little better look of the crown right there. And you can see the screws on the strap, so I can get this thing in focus for you. There you go. Really nice. Let me see. Let's take a look and see what it says here. I can't even read that. Oris rubber, I guess it just gives the model number of the strap. Got the Oris logo right there. And then there are the little sections where you can actually cut this to fit you if you have a smaller wrist. Let's take a look at this buckle. Really, really highly polished buckle. Really nice. This thing had a ton of stickers, guys, and I had to take those stickers off. Anyway, really nice buckle. Here is the tag. See if I can open this up. Looks like the tag is folded. There we go. There's your registration. It has the price right there, $2,400. I'm glad I saw that, by the way. I'll have to make sure I say the correct price near the end of the video. Anyway, there you go. There's the tag. Here is your milled scissor clasp. And again, it's just a little different how you put it on. It's not a big deal, but once I get it on, it fits fantastic. It really, really does. So it's super legible. I like the nice little red lollipop at the end of the second hand here. I do like the date at the bottom. Gives off, again, like a Rolex Yachtmaster vibe with this relief bezel. I think it's pretty cool. Nice applied indexes, plenty big. Again, we talked about the crown guards. We talked about the red Oris rotor. That's kind of like their signature. And again, this strap, man, is fantastic. Really, really nice. Nice and soft and supple. It's not hard or anything. You do have, the big Oris branding on the strap. I don't know if that's technically really necessary. But again, these are all, aesthetic decisions that Oris made. I would do things just a smidge differently, but I don't own my own watch company. So anyway, there you go. So that's about it for this one. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right here. And then let me put this thing on because it does take a second to get on. But, once it's on, it's super secure and it feels great. And you don't even feel like you have anything on your wrist. So let me go ahead, pause the video here, and then I will put this thing on my wrist and I'll come back in a second. Much better. Wow, that feels fantastic. Again, here it is on my 8-inch wrist. Really, really cool. Tell me what y'all think. Man, that strap is super comfortable, guys. This is a nice watch, man. This is a really nice watch. All right, let's go ahead and take it off. Let's go ahead and cut off the studio lights. Let's cut off this monitor. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let me take it off. There we go. Let's go ahead and zap it. Now, I didn't find out what type of lume this thing is using. I'm assuming it's some sort of Super-LumiNova, but it doesn't say anywhere on the website. There you go. Now, it doesn't have a ton of lume, even though, this is a dive watch. It's a 300-meter water-resistant watch. But it doesn't have a ton of lume. But it's nice and stable. It's not fading at all. What I see on the camera is the exact same thing I see on the watch. Really nice, man. Very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and cut everything back on. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this watch. Do you like Oris? Do any of y'all have an Oris? I reviewed one, I guess I reviewed an Oris, about 4 or 5 months ago. It was that Pro Pilot, I believe. That was a really cool watch. And I think this is a nice watch too, man. This would be a fantastic gift for somebody if you want to get one of these. Now, what did I say the price was? Because I'm getting different prices here, and I think they just got this in, so it's not technically on their website yet. So this is $2,400 again. Now remember, if you use my coupon code MAV20, that gets you 20% off your entire order. Now I don't think that's going to apply to some of these Swiss watches. It might, I'm sure they're going to give you some sort of discount, but if you were to go in there and buy a Hamilton or a G-Shock or whatever, Casio, whatever else they have there, that code will apply automatically when you put in MAV20, MAV20. But for these higher end Swiss watches, you guys need to call them and mention that code. And also remember, I don't think I'm looking at their site right now and they don't have this on their site. So if you want to get this specific model, call them up, ask about, do they have it in stock, and then ask about my MAV20 code to make sure you can get some. Again, I don't know if you're going to get the full 20% on these Swiss watches. You might not. I'm just not sure. But a whole bunch of their other stuff that aren't Swiss watches, that code applies automatically, and you can save a crap ton of money, guys. So again, for the fine Swiss watches, make sure you call Saltzman's, talk to Richard, talk to any of the other salespeople, and they will definitely hook you up. So that's really about it for this one, guys. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. I really appreciate when you do that. I've got tons more reviews coming out, so stay tuned, and I will see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.